Hello and good morning, live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Akshay Dongre, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi speaks with Russian President Vladimir Putin, focus on peaceful resolution of Ukraine conflict and deepening bilateral ties. Trump and Putin scheduled to meet in Alaska on August 15th, discussion on Ukraine conflict on agenda. Along 35 years of conflict ends, Azerbaijan and Armenia sign a US-brokered historic peace deal. Trump hails the accord, says the two South Caucasus nations committed to stop fighting, opens up diplomatic ties. UNSC to meet today to discuss the situation in West Asia after Israel plans to take control of Gaza, which is drawing criticism too. European Union leaders urge reconsideration. And wildfire tearing through the mountain north of Los Angeles with thousands under evacuation orders. Greece, Spain and France also battling the deadly fire. And updates now on Russia-Ukraine conflict. US President Donald Trump will meet Russian President Vladimir Putin to negotiate an end of the conflict in Ukraine on August 15th in Alaska. At a press conference on Friday at White House, Trump stated that there will be some exchange of territories for the mutual benefit of both the sides. The US and Russia are aiming to reach a deal to halt the conflict in Ukraine. Trump had threatened to impose new sanctions and tariffs against Moscow and countries that buy its exports unless Russia agreed to end the 3.5-year conflict. Earlier, Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff held 3 hours of talks with Putin in Moscow on August 6th that both sides described as constructive.
I'll be meeting very shortly with President Putin. It would have been sooner, but I guess there's security arrangements that unfortunately people have to make, otherwise I'd do it much quicker. He would too. He'd like to meet as soon as possible. I agree with it, but we'll be announcing that very shortly.
Azerbaijan and Armenia signed a US-brokered peace agreement on Friday at the White House. The leaders of Armenia and Azerbaijan shook hands as they joined President Donald Trump at the White House for a peace summit. The agreement includes US exclusive development rights to a key South Caucasus transit corridor aimed at boosting energy and resource exports. President of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, expressed confidence that Armenia and Azerbaijan will reconcile and build a peaceful future for the next generation.
I'm sure that Armenia and Azerbaijan will find courage and responsibility to reconcile, and also the people will reconcile. We will turn the page of standoff, confrontation and bloodshed and provide bright and safe future for our children. So I'm very happy.
Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump stated that the two countries committed to stop fighting, open up diplomatic relations and respect each other's territorial integrity. Restrictions had also been lifted on defense cooperation between Azerbaijan and United States.
It's a long time, 35 years. They fought, and now they're friends, and they're going to be friends for a long time. But it's a big, beautiful honor to welcome everyone to the White House for this very historic peace summit between Armenia and Azerbaijan. It's really a great thrill for me. I love seeing good people get together, and that's what you have. You have two great leaders. I want to congratulate these two visionary people, Prime Minister Pashinyan and President Aliyev.
The United Nations Security Council is set to convene an emergency session on Saturday to discuss Israel's decision to occupy the Gaza Strip, following requests from several member states. Earlier, Israel's security cabinet approved a plan proposed by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to establish military control over Gaza City, a move that has sparked sharp criticism from opposition leaders and heightened concerns over the fate of hostages. Following Israel's decision to occupy the Gaza City, the meeting has been endorsed by all members of the Security Council except Panama, which is its current chair. And the US sources noted that the US, Denmark, France, Greece, and Slovenia requested the emergency session. Israel's security cabinet approved a plan late Thursday to occupy Gaza City in the northern part of the enclave. China's preparation for possible coercive action against Taiwan has intensified dramatically. It has ramped up military activity around the region and escalating tensions in the region amid this tension. China warned Philippines President Ferdinand Marcos, asking him not to play with fire after he signaled that Philippines will be forced to get involved if there is a potential conflict between China and Taiwan. Here's more in this report.
China has again upped military activities against Taiwan. On Friday, the island's defense ministry in a statement said that it detected 57 sorties of People's Liberation Army aircraft, 6 PLA Navy ships and 4 official ships operating around Taiwan. It alleged that 38 out of 57 sorties crossed the median line of the Taiwan Strait and entered Taiwan's northern, central, southwestern and eastern ADIZ, Air Defense Identification Zone. According to Defense Ministry statement, Taiwanese armed forces have monitored the situation and responded accordingly. Taiwan's Defense Ministry had also detected 15 Chinese military aircraft, 7 Chinese naval vessels and 1 official ship operating around its territory on Thursday. In a social media post, the Defense Ministry said 14 of the 15 Chinese aircraft crossed the median line of the Taiwan Strait and entered Taiwan's northern, southwestern and eastern air defense identification zones. Earlier on Wednesday also, Taiwan detected 16 Chinese military aircraft, 6 Chinese naval vessels and 1 official ship operating around the island. Meanwhile, Philippines leader Ferdinand Marcos Jr. in an interview in New Delhi expressed his government's concern for the safety and welfare of more than 100,000 Filipino nationals residing in Taiwan. He pointed out the country's geographic proximity to Taiwan, stating that any military conflict there would inevitably affect the Philippines and would force his country to mobilize all resources to evacuate Filipino nationals. Taking exception to it, China on Friday warned Philippines leader Ferdinand Marcos Jr. against it and said he's playing with fire. In a statement, the Chinese Foreign Ministry said that there is only one China in the world and Taiwan is an inalienable part of China. The Chinese Foreign Ministry stressed the Taiwan issue is China's internal affair and not open to interference by others. Bureau Report, DD India.
The Southeast Asia is witnessing a wave of fast-paced diplomacy, with Malaysia set to lead an ASEAN mission to Myanmar on September 19 to push for peace after years of conflict. In a surprise move, Myanmar has hired a US lobbying firm in a $3 million a year deal to rebuild ties with Washington. Meanwhile, Cambodia and Thailand have agreed to a ceasefire accord over their disputed border, a step welcomed by the UN as a sign of regional political will. DD India's Nishchay Roy has more.
From civil war-torn Myanmar to tense border lines between Thailand and Cambodia, Southeast Asia is witnessing a flurry of high-stakes diplomacy aimed at cooling conflicts and mending fractured ties. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN blocs, diplomacy is stepping up in Southeast Asia. Malaysia, holding the ASEAN bloc's chair, will lead a delegation to Myanmar next month after the junta lifted its state of emergency. The September 19th visit will include foreign ministers from Indonesia, Thailand and the Philippines, as ASEAN struggles to end the bloodshed that erupted after the 2021 ouster of Aung San Suu Kyi. Despite barring junta leaders from its summits, the bloc's peace push has yet to bear fruit. Adding intrigue, a Washington lobbying firm, DCI Group, has inked a $3 million a year deal with Myanmar's Ministry of Information to help rebuild ties with the US, a sharp shift given American sanctions and its stance on Rohingya atrocities. Meanwhile, on another fault line of regional tension, Cambodia and Thailand have sealed a rare ceasefire accord to halt clashes along their disputed border, concluded in Kuala Lumpur with China, Malaysia and the US as observers. The pact commits both sides to cease all weapons fire, avoid troop buildups and reduce the risk of renewed flare-ups. UN Chief Antonio Guterres hailed the agreement as a welcome sign of political will.
The Secretary General is pleased at efforts by the leadership in Cambodia and Thailand to halt all fighting, and he hopes that they will continue to be in dialogue to resolve all outstanding issues between the two countries.
From tense frontiers to troubled capitals, Southeast Asia's diplomacy is in overdrive, in the hope that dialogue, not gunfire, will define the region's future. Nishchay Roy's report for DD India.
A US Army veteran accused of fatally shooting 4 people at a bar in Montana earlier this month has been caught after a week-long manhunt. The suspect, Michael Brown, was captured near the search area in Anaconda on Friday. Officials have said they did not know of any motive for the killing. Family members have told local media that Brown, who served in the Iraq War, had a history of mental illnesses. The US Marshal Service had offered a $7,500 reward for information leading to Brown's arrest. His disappearance prompted a widespread search in the surrounding mountains involving multiple law enforcement agencies. Ferocious wildfires stirring across parts of Los Angeles, Greece, Spain and France, forcing thousands to flee and leaving a deadly trail of destruction in the wake. A wildfire killed at least 1 person and burned houses and farmlands in town outside Athens, Greece, as firefighters struggled to contain a series of blazes at the start of what is forecast to be several days of gale-force winds. 11 planes, 12 helicopters and 170 firefighters were deployed around Carretia, 30 kilometers southeast of the capital. While in Spain, the worst wildfires since 1949 scorched San Bartolomé de Pinares, killing 1 woman who ignored evacuation orders. The blaze injured 18 people, including 16 firefighters, destroyed 36 homes and forced evacuation of 2,000 residents and tourists. In France, fire crews are also battling multiple wildfires as much of southern Europe grapples with the extreme heat and drought conditions. Scientists are now saying that these conditions are now being intensified by climate change. And still to come on DD India News Hour, India marks 11 years of governance with an incredible success story. German Grandmaster attains the sole lead in Chennai Grandmasters tournament. Indians across the world celebrate Raksha Bandhan, the bond of siblinghood and love.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked, we just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Akshay Dongre. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a telephone conversation with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Friday. President Putin briefed PM Modi on latest developments concerning Ukraine while thanking President Putin for his detailed assessment. Prime Minister Narendra Modi reiterated India's consistent position for peaceful resolution of the conflict. The two leaders also reviewed progress in the bilateral agenda and reaffirmed their commitment to further deepen special and privileged strategic partnership between India and Russia. Prime Minister Modi invited President Putin to India later this year for 23rd India-Russia Annual Summit. From the grassroots level to global strides, India marks 11 years of governance with an incredible success stories celebrated not just here but thousands of miles away in New Zealand. Our correspondent Soumya Sharma covers the momentous celebrations in Wellington.
11 years, a billion dreams and a nation on the move. We're here at the Indian High Commission in New Zealand where the echoes of Viksit Bharat can be heard across borders. As India marks 11 years of incredible governance under the vision of Viksit Bharat Ka Amrit Kal, the Indian High Commission in Wellington, in collaboration with various councils, reflected upon the highlights of these transformative years and India's innovations that have resonated with the Indian diaspora. Ma'am, which policy achievements of the last 11 years do you consider the most transformative?
So I must say it is, the policies focused on women's empowerment because every house, the center of the household is the woman, and all these policies, so many of them focusing on women's empowerment is really transforming the, unit of the house, and as such transforming the whole family and the well-being of the family. So, and there are so many policies, like just to name a few, the Digital India, the Skill India, all these are doing so much, so well for the people of India and especially for the youth, I think.
If you had to summarize these 11 years of Viksit Bharat, if you had to use one word for it, what would you call it?
I would say it is transformational.
So what achievements and what policies in these 11 years do you think have been the most transformative?
I think out of this 11 years, I've been living outside India for a greater part of 11 years. The biggest shift I've seen living in New Zealand is we're getting a lot of traction as non-resident Indians, getting recognized on the Indian side and on the non-Indian side as well. Earlier, I think we found it challenging to get table at a seat. Now we are at a good position. We are being considered into discussions. Our inputs are valued, and people are making a conscious effort to get how to get in trade with India. Some ask about programs like Make in India or Viksit Bharat and what does the Chandrayaan mean. So it's been a holistic growth that we as Indian nationals are experiencing.
Which initiative do you feel has made the deepest impact at the grassroots level in these 11 years?
I guess being a woman, the very first one that comes to mind is making the life of women in India easy, whether it was through providing free electricity, 300 units, whether it is providing safe travel, whether it is providing insurance, and whether it is providing Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. There are a number of initiatives related to women, but also I think the digital transformation that country has taken, it is more beneficial to women, in my view, than it is to men. Because women were so far behind in managing their own affairs, managing their own finances. Now they are part and parcel of the system. They are inclusive in digital literacy, and they are inclusive in financial literacy.
Well, this celebration held in Wellington is not just a tribute. It's also a testimony of India's progress in motion. This is Soumya Sharma from Wellington for DD India.
And Delhi wakes up to a rainy morning. Heavy rainfall lashed several parts of Delhi NCR today. The Indian Meteorological Department has forecast a minimum temperature of 27 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius, with thunderstorms and rain activity expected to continue over the next few days. As per IMD forecast, Delhi is expected to get another spell of rain on August 13 and 14. The rainfall will bring temperatures down by a few degrees. The Indian Meteorological Department on Friday has issued a fresh warning for Himachal Pradesh, predicting more rain in the coming days. The Chandigarh-Manali National Highway 21 has been closed again due to landslides in Mandi district, just days after it was reopened, a 40-hour closure. This disruption has stranded commuters and caused significant inconvenience. Heavy rainfall is expected to intensify in Himachal Pradesh from Sunday to Monday, prompting a yellow alert for several districts. In Uttarakhand, relief and rescue operations are continuing on a war footing in disaster-affected Dharali area of Uttarkashi district today. Central and state government agencies are engaged in providing relief to the affected and searching for missing people as well as restoring basic facilities. So far, more than 600 people have been airlifted to Uttarkashi and Dehradun. The German Grandmaster Vincent Keimer overcame a stiff challenge from India's Pranav Venkatesh to attain the sole lead in the Chennai Grandmasters tournament, while the number 5 Arjun Erigaisi and Dutch Grandmaster Jordan van Foreest settled for a draw after an evenly matched battle. The Indian Grandmaster is now joint second in the standing with 1.5 points, along with the USA's Ray Robson, who beat Vidit Gujarati in a dramatic encounter. India's Nihal Sareen missed out on a win after working his way into superior position against Dutch Grandmaster Anish Giri. The sacred thread of love, protection and shared memories, Raksha Bandhan 2025 is being celebrated across the country today with traditional fervour and emotional warmth. From temples to homes, the spirit of siblinghood has lit up every corner of India. Here is a special report by DD India correspondent Kriti Vadhera on how this festival of bonds transcends rituals to celebrate the spirit of togetherness.
In a land where every festival narrates stories of relationships, Raksha Bandhan stands as a vibrant celebration of unique bond between brothers and sisters. Marked on the full moon day of Shravan month, the festival sees sisters tying Rakhi, a sacred thread, on their brother's wrist, praying for their well-being and long life. Raksha Bandhan, the sacred thread of protection, is not just a celebration of the bond between brothers and sisters, but a festival that weaves love, trust and tradition into our social fabric. Rooted deeply in Indian culture, this festival transcends familial boundaries. Across the nation, women tie Rakhis to soldiers, honoring their role as protectors of the country, expressing gratitude for their unwavering service. This Raksha Bandhan, many are embracing a healthier way to celebrate, choosing to gift dry fruits and nutritious hampers over traditional sweets, a thoughtful shift that reflects both care and conscious living.
Keeping in mind health aspect of our customer, this year we have designed special gifts hamper of roasted cashews and almond. We want our customer to use dry fruits in place of sweets.
Raksha Bandhan is also an opportunity to go vocal for local. Handmade Rakhis are not just symbol of affection, but also threads of empowerment, supporting thousands of local artisans, especially women, as their craft sustains both tradition and livelihood. From rural workshops to urban stalls, each Rakhi carries the essence of self-reliance, echoing the spirit of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
From siblings at home to the soldiers at the borders, the threads of Rakhi are strengthening the social fabric of India. With its every knot tied, DD India wishes all its viewers a joyous and blessed Raksha Bandhan. With camera person Sunny Kalra, I am Kruti Vadhera reporting from New Delhi for DD India.
The bond of siblinghood, the bond of love and togetherness. This is what Raksha Bandhan signifies. And with this special report, DD India also wishes you a very, very happy Raksha Bandhan, a timeless sibling bond. And that's all for this edition of DD India Live. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Akshay Dongre. From all of us here in New Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.